Yes, indeed. Welcome to the most must-see podcast in wrestling, the No Sell Podcast, where we take your yes, we take your yups, and we take your whats, and we talk about the grassroots of WWE, etc. As always, Tequila, the Body Ventura, Alan, and making his long-awaited return from the outskirts of nowhere, the demon Jimmy Hart Cullum. How are we, gentlemen?
Jimmy Hart.
Jimmy Hart. Okay.
Where does that come from?
A bit left field, but fair enough.
The mouth of the South. He's come the mouth of the South now, is he?
I live in the north, so no.
Mouth of the North.
It fits. But there is a lot of business to take care of, and we are going to talk about Wrestlemania. Whether or not, to quote a former owner of the company, we get some good shit or we get some terrible shit. But gentlemen, obviously we will be doing predictions as this show kind of goes through each of those matches. And what I'll be looking for is results and method of result. And I think, Alan, you said it was what? 1 point for getting the result right and
Two.
bonus. Two
2 point for result. Yep. So if you say I don't know, the 6-man tag match, if you say division win, that's 2 points. But if you say I don't know, Logan Paul pins LA Knight, that's 5.
Yeah. So there you have it. And do you know what? It's going to be some fun. And at the end of the last pay-per-view of next year, before WrestleMania, we will tally up those scores and we will point and laugh at whoever's bottom of the game. But yeah, let's get into night one. Opening the show, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, the Twitch and YouTube versus the Usos and Cullum's favorite wrestler, L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me talk to you.
Well, Tequila, talk to the people. Talk about this match and what way you think it's going to go.
I think that everybody who heard the rumors about LA Knight getting this massive push, and then they heard the rumors about LA Knight facing Brock Lesnar and all these things that they are, all the LA Knight fans, really thought this was going to be different. He was going to be treated as a big deal. Finds himself in a pointless 6-man tag with the Usos, who I thought he was feuding with. Wasn't he feuding with the Usos a couple of months ago? Wasn't he having big pull-apart brawls with Jey Uso a couple of months ago? And now the best buddies tagging up against the Vision, the two lesser members of the Vision, with all due respect to Logan Paul, who I like, and a YouTube idiot. What a fall from grace for LA Knight. Now, I never expected LA Knight to be a world champion. I think that they think he's too old. I think he'll probably, if he ever becomes a world champion, it'll be a transitional reign at best, if he ever gets there. They're never going to go the full way of him. But even I expected they had something bigger planned for LA Knight. I know Com hates him, but I've always liked him. Many years I've liked him as a promo. He's a wrestler, not so much. As a promo, I think he's really good. So he's terribly miscast as well. He's a much better heel as well. But there we are. I think it's a pointless match. If it's not the opening, I'll be shocked if it's not the opening contest. So
Apparently it is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's got that written all over it, isn't it? I think probably LA Knight will probably get the win. He'll probably pin Austin Theory. I think the ice show speed. I mean, if they have the ice show speed pin LA Knight, then it's even worse than I thought it was. Because that's the only other thing I can tell you happening is that he actually gets pinfall over LA Knight to set up some kind of. Because you know what they're like. You know what TKO are like. They might want to have more. They love their celebrity matches even more than Vince did. They might think that there's money in an LA Knight ice show speed singles match, and if so, then ice show speed has got to pin him. That's the thing I'd be scared about if I'm an LA Knight fan.
Very interesting point of view there. I suppose, Alan, let me come to you with a slightly different perspective on this match. Normally, we would think that, okay, it's the first match of WrestleMania weekend. We're going to have to go out with something loud and something big. And, like, obviously we'll be talking about night 2 later, but they're opening with Oba versus Brock. Is this very much kind of in the vein of what Tequila's been talking about, in that it's TKO pushing the celebrity agenda, and they're hoping that the crowd pops for them by putting this match out, setting the tone for night 1?
Yeah, I think this is kind of what they're going for. Personally, it's not what I would go for. I would probably put the iShow Speed match a bit further on down the line. You want to get the crowd warmed up first. You know, this could easily kill the crowd dead before they even start. This is the issue, because iShow Speed, he's not a wrestler. He said that on TV. He's not a wrestler. Of course not. He's a YouTuber. I don't know what he can offer. I doubt he's going to be as good as Logan Paul. Logan Paul is phenomenal. You know, the biggest douchebag they've got, but the man can wrestle. He really can. I have no faith in iShow Speed. He's going to be the typical clothesline, you know, body slam, you know, and all that minor offense. He's not going to pull up anything major, I don't think. So for me, I don't think this is worthy of an opening contest. This, you know, I wish they still did the warm up matches. You know, the
pre-show.
The pre-show, sorry, yeah, that's it. I wish they did that, because of that. This is where this belongs. I'd rather have the Andre the Giant Battle Royal on this card.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. And I suppose just kind of, when you look at the order, they could very easily have reversed Drew and Jacob, put that first, and then obviously you're talking about burying it in the mid card then at that stage, which is
Jacob Drew should have probably gone first, because those two can draw the crowd. I mean, Drew himself, he knows how to, you know, to get the crowd riled up, you know, and the crowd are massively behind Jacob Fatu. Well, yeah, that would have been a great, you know, really get the crowd going kind of a match.
Absolutely, but I suppose sticking with the opening match, Colm, your favorite wrestler, is obviously involved in it and a YouTube idiot. Have they missed the boat on this one?
I think the Vision are going to win. I think the Vision are going to win, and I don't think it's going to be a clean victory. I think Bron Breakker's going to come back and win the match for him by interference of some sort. And that is the only reason why I think this match is first, so they can bring Bron Breakker back. And obviously they have a little bit of a pop because he's back. It doesn't make sense to me why it's first, unless they're planning on doing something like that. Because even though he's not officially announced, he's been cleared to wrestle. He's fully fit and ready to go. So, yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. Bron Breakker's going to come in. I'm going to say I really hope he absolutely decimates LA Knight, and then Logan Paul or somebody or maybe that's how iShow Speed pins LA Knight or something like that.
Talk to me about this, to quote LA Knight. Is there an opportunity for iShow Speed never to actually be involved in the match, for Bron to basically replicate what he did to him in the Royal Rumble and spear him so that he can't compete?
I think there's a possibility, but that would then mean Bron Breakker's got to step in and take his spot in the match, I suppose.
Exactly. But let me just say a quick hello to Shirley Priest and Wayne Bonner, who has interesting views that we'll talk about later on night one when we kind of sum it up. But yeah, I am going to hold on to your match predictions until the end of night one, because I do need someone to take them down if somebody's got pen and paper. But let's move on to the unsanctioned match. I can't remember the last time we actually had one of these in a Mania card. But again, whoever wants to hop in there first. Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre. Are we finally going to see the end of this feud?
God, I hope so. I hope so. I mean, the feud that Drew McIntyre's had over the last couple of years, obviously, I had that one with CM Punk. Were it last year that happened? What year before? I can't remember when it was. That was actually half entertaining. This one is just Yeah, I'm bored of it already. But I mean, am I bothered that much about it? No, if I'm going to be honest. Do I want Drew McIntyre to win? No, not really. Am I bothered if he does? No. It's it. I think just to be the fact that it's just a featured match, it says a lot about. I think it says a lot about where WWE rate Drew McIntyre at the moment, because he used to, he used to be a contender. He'd be headlining these things, and
He still is.
I don't know where he is.
He is, but they don't see him that way. But he is. It's a bit of a disgrace actually that they value him so low.
Well, this is what I mean, though. We've got to go on what they're saying, and their stock in him is low. So they've kind of just put him in a match that doesn't really need to happen at Mania. It could happen at any time.
But here's one thing I want to throw in there for the panel to discuss. Apparently, the reason why his story is so lackluster is he's going away to film Highlander.
Yeah, I've seen that he's been flying to and from Scotland to do the filming.
And do you reckon that's the key fulcrum to the snapped storyline, that they just wanted him involved in Mania, so they just threw it in together and said, "Here, fight Jacob Fatu in an unsanctioned match"?
Probably, but I mean, Drew McIntyre is not a bad wrestler. He's very good at what he does, and he's a very, very good heel. Don't book him in something just to have him there. If you're gonna do something with him, do something with him, not just we're just gonna put you in this match because we want you there.
Alan, this is TKO we're talking about. That would probably be right up the street just to put him in something to have him there. They've done it in terms of some of their UFC cards before. They put people in matches that make no sense, and because they just wanted them on the card to boost ticket sales. Is that what we're looking at here?
Oh, most definitely. They just shoehorned this match on. I agree with Com. This doesn't really belong on a WrestleMania. I think it maybe Backlash, maybe one of the B pay-per-views. They probably should have saved this for then. But I would have thought they would have put Jacob Fatu into one of the World Title matches with Drew McIntyre in a Fatal 4-Way. That would have been a lot more interesting instead of what we're getting, which we'll get to. But yeah, this is a B pay-per-view match for me. This doesn't belong on WrestleMania.
So 0 for 2 in terms of the main card, 2 for 2 in terms of pre-show.
Yeah. But for this one, I expect Fatu to win this one.
Yeah, like I said, we will get your official predictions after the end of night one's matches are covered. But Tequila, I'm going to move on to match 3. And we have the Mistress of the Devil's Kiss versus the wannabe Harley Quinn in the Women's World Championship match. What do you expect to see here?
Well, I still don't know what all the fuss is about with Stephanie Vakir. I must have missed. I still don't get it. I don't understand.
Devil's Kiss.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So, I mean, she was more or less signed because of her performances in AEW. So she was signed because of, she's a good wrestler, and she's okay. I'm not saying she's not a bad wrestler at all, but that's all she is. And I just think that nowadays, at least for me, you need to be more than just a good wrestler. I had my all I care about is work rate phase when I was much younger. Now I need more than just, you're a good wrestler, because I'm someone who I've seen every move there is to see, more or less. Very rarely do I ever see a move that I've never seen before. More or less everything's been done. The only thing I ever see nowadays, like with a Ricochet or something like that, they add an extra small flip before they hit the move, and that's not enough for me. So I need more to my wrestlers than just, she's good in the ring, because whilst she is good in the ring, that's all she's got going for her. She's not a very good storyteller. She's a terrible promo. Not her fault, really, because she can't speak English. But I'm not being funny. If you're coming over to America and you're going to try and make it in an American company, learn how to speak the language. If you really want to hone your craft, learn how to do promos. She gets paid enough. They pay her enough. The wrestlers get paid enough. She could hire someone to teach her how to cut a promo. teach her the English language. I'm just saying stuff that she hasn't got to do it, but this is stuff that she could do if she really wanted to be top. She doesn't. She just wants to put on good matches. That's fine. But for me, I don't see the big appeal. There's women who are just as good as her, who are at least, in my opinion, hotter. Come at me, or are better storytellers and can engage me more in their matches. One of those people is Liv Morgan. Now, she's not as good a wrestler, Liv Morgan, as Stephanie Vaquer, but she's a very attractive young woman, so she's going to appeal to a lot of guys for that. And she's gotten a much better promo. She wasn't good when she first arrived, but Liv Morgan's a very good example of somebody who has actually put the time in and has actually tried to improve her all round. She's become a better wrestler, though she's not amazing, but she's better. And she's become a very good... She does a lot of good character work, both during the matches and backstage. So I think that's why they're going to go all in with Liv Morgan. That's why they had to win the Rumble. I think they actually realised, hold on a second, she's like the closest thing they've got to like a Trish Stratus, right? In my mind, because Trish Stratus was somebody who was very attractive, could cut a very good promo, especially when she was a heel, and became competent in the ring. And I think they probably view Liv Morgan as that kind of version of her. She's kind of she's somebody who's actually got the three things you need. We've talked about this before: the physical appearance, the wrestling ability, at least to a decent level, and the ability to cut promos and talk. And Liv Morgan ticks all those boxes. You might differ to what degrees, but generally I say that she's competent in all those boxes. So that's why I think they'll definitely go with her. I'm not that interested in the match though, because I don't care about Stephanie Vaquer. So if Liv Morgan doesn't win, which I do expect she will win, but if she doesn't win, I'll be disappointed because Stephanie Vaquer's bored the hell out of me. I just find her boring. I'm sorry, I just find her boring, guys.
I'm with you, Tequila, but I'm looking at this from a WWE creative standpoint, and if you actually look at everything that she's done, that they clearly have put all their eggs in her basket as such.
On the basis of what though, Com?
I don't know.
Why?
I mean, she was ranked number 5 in the top 250 female single wrestlers in 2025. She was ranked in top 5 in 2024. She's been at the WWE. She's won the Women's World Championship, the Women's Crown Jewel Championship, the NXT Championship, the NXT Women's North American Championship, the Evolution Battle Royale, the Slammy Awards, and she got Breakout Superstar of the Year in 2025. They are clearly putting a lot of time into her, and I don't know. I am with you. I do not know why.
Tell me one thing that Tell me one thing that she's done that's been memorable. She's won all those belts, and I know that she has, but I can't remember any of them. Do you know what I mean? I can't remember. Nothing she's done sticks in my mind at all. I have no memories of her.
Mate, I'm exactly the same with you. I can't remember. Like I had to because while you were talking, I was like looking back and like, right, what has she actually done? And I had to Wikipedia her accomplishments. It's like I don't actually know who you are. You're kind of just somebody that's been thrown, like what Wayne's saying here, thrown into it by creative. And, there's so, like, you could put that title on any female, and it would be a better match.
Com, you tell me, right? We'll use this woman as a good example because she's been in the news lately because of some silly shit that Michael Hayes said about her. You tell me one thing she's got over Chelsea Green. I think Chelsea Green is... Personally, I think she's another one who's got it all. And the fact that I see Stephanie Vaquer getting this monster push, and I see something like Chelsea Green, who I think is immensely more talented, at least is maybe not in the ring, but at least is the whole package, immensely more better suited for at least for American wrestling, right? And she is stuck in comedy, doing this comedy shit, right? And and you hear Michael Hayes talking about her saying, "Oh, she's low card, she'll never be one of the stars." Yeah, I see them pushing Stephanie Vaquer to the moon with very little basis behind it, other than the fact that she's okay in the ring. I don't get it, mate.
I don't either. And the fact, like, if you I'm as we're talking, I'm trying to find stuff, and if you search what her best match is, it comes up with a match against somebody called AZM in NJPW, so New Japan Wrestling, in 2024. That's like her highlight match.
I'm not denying that she's not a talented athlete. She is, but a lot of them are talented. We're not in the divas. If we were in a divas era, right? But most of the women in not all of them, but a large majority of the women in the WWE can all go. Most of them can go now. Not everyone, but at least I think 3/4 of the wrestlers can go. We're not in a diva. This isn't 2014, 2015 anymore. We're stuck with a bunch of models trying to be wrestlers. So you need more. If she would have appeared during that period, she probably would have blown them all away. But she's got a lot of people around her now who are her equals in the ring, or more or less, but do the other parts I've just said significantly better than her. She doesn't stand out at all because anything she can do, I've seen all the other women do it, but they have much better characters. Either they're better promos, or they just flat out better storytellers. What do I remember about Stephanie Vaquer? Oh, she's got her Devil's Kiss move, which is just dumb anyway. But don't worry, but there's a sexual connotation to it, so that's why everyone likes it. It's like, no, I need more. Sorry, I need more.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is as well, like I was saying about this match, you've got Liv Morgan, who is, she's probably what the WWE would class as, like you said, the Trish Stratus kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you've got people like Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, who are all better and they're a bigger name and probably would draw in more of a crowd. You've got Asuka, who could possibly step it. There's so many different female wrestlers. Chelsea Green is another one, like you said, that could put on a better show. And be I can remember some of Chelsea Green's stuff.
Yeah,
I don't remember anything.
Have you seen her match against Penta?
Yeah.
Amazing for a match between a girl and a guy, obviously a mixed gender, but it was done realistically. You could believe it. It was done masterfully. If you haven't checked it out, anyone, go watch. It was from Lucha Underground. Was it Lucha Underground?
Lucha Underground.
Yeah, many years ago. I forget what she wasn't called Chelsea Green. She was called something else. But her versus Penta. Go check it out. It's amazing.
It was
match.
fantastic.
Yeah.
It was a great match.
Yeah.
And the fact that she was willing to get in there with him, and like you said, you could see how well they both connected with each other, and where the Mexican Destroyer she took at the end and stuff, and it looked like one of the most perfect Mexican Destroyers I've ever seen performed. It was fantastic.
I suppose I am going to cut in there because I want to just mention one woman that might be joining the women's ranks in the main roster next Monday night or next Friday night, depending on which day they pull the trigger after WrestleMania, and that's JC Jane. So that could be a bit exciting. That could shake things up. I also going to get your views on maybe how they've locked up most of the women's roster in a certain women's tag team match, but we'll get to that shortly. Possibly the most boring build-up to any match that's on the night one card is up next. AJ Lee and the Irish Lass Kicker, Becky Lynch. Look, in isolation, there's nothing wrong with this match, but the fact that they did it in Chicago, for me, takes from it. But I'm going to open the floor and get your views on it.
Who wants to go first?
Well, I can't say I'm interested in this match at all. Like I agree with you, Rebel. It's the build up for this one has just been, I don't know, petty, tacky, cringy. So I'm not expecting anything other than a cringe fest, to be honest. I don't know what else I can say about it. I don't know why it's on Mania.
No,
Really?
you're 100% right, Al.
Yeah.
Why is this on Mania?
Yeah.
Honestly,
We've seen this match like 3 times already, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean,
One on one, sure, but
Becky Lynch is a great heel, fantastic heel, but the way she's been told to do it this time is way off the mark, and we all know that Becky Lynch is going to win this title because AJ is not staying around. It's complete pointless. What they should have done is, so Friday night last week, had them have this championship match, and then let Becky take it then, and then put somebody else in against Becky for it.
yeah.
I think I'm the one who I probably disagree with you guys. I'm fine with the match. I understand where Alan's coming from. They have had a lot of matches, but they've only actually had one singles match.
Yeah.
The problem is with the feud is it's been stop-start, and that's because of AJ Lee's contract. She's not obligated to be there every week, and there was a period of about 3 months where you just didn't hear back from her. So they allowed the feud to go cold. They then substituted Maxine Dupree and brought her into it, kind of out of nowhere, and as me and Rebel have discussed before, kind of damaged the Intercontinental title a bit. It did. That whole thing with Maxine Dupree actually damaged the belt a little bit. So it's been stop-start. I myself like both women. I think AJ Lee was never the best wrestler. She was good for her time. Again, she was around in the Divas era. So the competition she faced, most women were worse than her in the ring. So she was one of the better ones, but that's not the case anymore. She's now come to 2026, 2025 WWF. And whilst I wouldn't say she's one of the weakest wrestlers, she doesn't stand out in the ring anymore. And there's people like Io Sky, etc., like that, who can generally run circles around her when it comes to her in-ring work. So she's trying to play the same kind of character she did in 2014. And I think in 2014, the world was a different place. I think the promo styles were a different place. And I think she's kind of gone back. See, someone like CM Punk kind of been able to adapt. And I don't think that she's been able to really adapt her character. It's almost like she's playing the greatest hits of her old character. And I think it worked okay for the initial tag match with her and Punk versus Rollins and Becky Lynch. And then, as I said, it was stop-start, and then she was here for a week, and then she vanished. She wasn't even in the Royal Rumble. And then she appeared out of nowhere, and then they did the thing at the Chamber. As Rebel said, that probably wasn't the initial plan. It probably was only meant to be one match, but then they've had her beat Becky for the belt, and she's obviously, as Com said, she's going to drop it back, probably because they realised that Becky Lynch has got to win one of these matches, because AJ Lee dominated this feud. In the ring, she dominated this feud in every match. So yeah, Becky's got to win at least the last one, just so Becky doesn't come out of the whole thing looking incredibly damaged. Some might say that she's already been too damaged by this feud, because she has been made to look quite weak, because AJ keeps getting the best of her. So I like Becky Lynch. I agree with you, Com. I think she's a great heel. She can sometimes go over the top a little bit. She can sometimes. But overall, character work rise, this is what I was talking about before. She what she says is generally, she's playing this kind of, she's almost being female Trump. She's 100% she's doing that stuff, but she's quite good at it. She's always been good at that kind of stuff. So I don't know long term where Becky Lynch kind of goes. And I think AJ Lee, me and Rebel said this last week, I think she's going to go off into the sunset. Whether or not she feels there's any more dream matches for her, I'm not sure there's that many she's got. I think she's mentioned wanting to do something with Roxanne Perez because they're friends in real life. You might get a few there, but they're going to have to build up Roxanne a bit if they do that. But for me, yeah, Becky Lynch has got to win the title. Nothing else makes sense. If AJ Lee beats her again, then Becky Lynch has been severely damaged by this feud, because she's just had the hell beaten out of her on every occasion in this feud.
I'm going to throw out an alternative that might have been a bit more fun for viewers. Again, it would have been a bit of a fun match, like the Orton-Joe Hendry match from last year. But would it have been better seeing Becky going against Jess, the ref, for 30 seconds to a minute and kind of having a fun kind of pop match and get her out quickly than this AJ Lee third installment?
It depends if the referee. I mean, she's trained, hasn't she, at the performance center? But just because she's trained at the performance center, that doesn't mean that she's ready for like primetime television match on TV. So maybe they wanted to do it, but maybe she hasn't progressed. I don't know. I haven't seen that. I know, like I say, I know that Jessica Carr, isn't it? I know that she's trained in a performance center, but I don't know about how far along she is. If she's another Maxine Dupree, do we really want another one of them on our screens?
Well, really? I'm more thinking of an angle that might have made it a bit fun. Either that, or maybe if Jess actually did a proper screw job in that Chicago match, maybe there might have been a better build to this installment at Mania. But I'm going to move us on, and because we obviously have to come back and do all our predictions on night one yet. But this is possibly where a lot of the women's world title contenders are after getting lost in. Nia Jax, Lash Legend, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Bailey, Lyra Valkyria, and then obviously the people that are running back for the tag team championship, the Bella Twins. But you've got possibly 1, 2, 3, 4 realistic women that could have been involved in a women's world title match, stuck in a tag team match. Your views?
Botchamania.
Yes, I agree. This is going to be a botch fest. There'll be too many bodies in the ring, too many bodies at once. Things are going to go wrong. Nia Jax is confirmed by a lot of the women in the WWE that she's dangerous.
She's not
Nia Jax.
She's not like Mesco or something.
Nia Jax is a botch machine.
Yeah.
She tries so hard, but unless it's showing off this power that she has, she can't do anything. Why they've stuck Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss into this, I don't know. You know, again, this smells and screams we need to have them in the match card somewhere. That's what this is. You know, we don't have enough spots for Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, Bailey, Bella Twins. I know, let's just throw them all into a tag team match for a title. It sounds interesting and fun. It's not. It's going to be horrible and it's going to be a hard watch.
100%.
I think the lads are right. It's kind of almost like a dumping ground for the women. They've got no real plans for. It's strange for me for them to see out of all these women who are in this match, the golden girl is. I wonder if it's because Vince is gone, because during Vince's reign, the joke was always Roman Reigns and Charlotte Flair are the same person. Roman Reigns is the female Charlotte, is the male Charlotte Flair, and vice versa, because they were the two golden boys. Both nepotism, by the way. Both were only there or got big jumps because of who their families are, and both were given the whole universe and was given as many opportunities to fail more than anyone else. And Charlotte Flair has ever since she came back when she won the Royal Rumble 2 years. I think it was 2 years ago now. Or was it last year? No, it was last year. See, it's not even as long as I think. When she came back and the whole feud with Tiffany Stratton, I think she rubbed a lot of people the wrong way because she was quite unprofessional. Because the idea is that Tiffany was also unprofessional, but it was Charlotte who was kind of like meant to be the veteran. And once she started going into business for herself, WWE Unreal covered all this crap. So how much of it was faked for Unreal, I don't know. But ever since then, she's kind of like, I wouldn't say she's dropped off a cliff, but they've literally taken her out of singles competition. They formed the unlikely duo of Alexa Bliss, and she's been stuck in the tag team division for nearly a year now because she hasn't had really any singles feuds ever since Tiffany Stratton feud ended, and that was at WrestleMania. So she has lost some luster, at least backstage, because they obviously do not view her the same way that they once did. So because if you would have told me a couple of years ago that Charlotte Flair was going to be stuck in a meaningless tag team title match along with 9 other women, I'd be shocked. I'm not shocked to see the Bellas there. The Bellas are probably going to win the bloody things, by the way. I'm not shocked to see the Bellas there. I'm not shocked to see Nia Jax there. Last Legend, she's obviously new. She's getting exposure, so it's fine. It's a fine place for her to be at this stage of her career. I think they could be doing more of Alexa Bliss. I think they dropped the ball with her a little bit. But Charlotte Flair in particular, I'm shocked. I don't mind it because I don't like her very much, but I'm shocked that they value her so low considering where they used to value her. She was hovering around that world title non-stop the whole of her career. If she hasn't been getting a title match, she's been the champion. If she's not the champion, she's been involved in the title match. This is the first time I can remember an extended period. As I said, it's been a year. I can't remember. Alan, you tell me. I can't remember the last time a year went past without Charlotte Flair getting a world title match.
No, you're very true. It's actually very true. She's always gravitated towards that world title. No matter who's got it, she'll get the shot. Should win it, should drop it, should win it, should drop it, should win it, should drop it. And that's how it is. That's been her career since she debuted.
Yeah. So,
and just to touch on what you said about her being sort of like left to the wayside, she just probably mentioned that she actually did lose her match on Raw this week.
She's lost quite a few matches.
Yeah,
that's the thing. She's lost a lot more than she normally does as well. So they really do not view her. Or maybe hey, look, it happens. Everyone has their turn, and maybe they just think, you know what, there is many better women now. At the time, they obviously thought she was the best they had. But if you look around, Rhea Ripley's. If you want to talk about another kind of large, kind of dominant woman, which is because obviously the side of Charlotte, I mean, she kind of plays that role. They've got Rhea Ripley for that now, who's better than Charlotte in every way. In every way, she's better than Charlotte. So maybe they just feel, well, we don't need her anymore. We've got Rhea Ripley. Maybe it's as simple as that.
Triple H loves her. Triple H loves Charlotte Flair.
Why is he like being treating her as almost like she's more or less been a mid carder for the last year?
I know. I don't know why it's gone the way it has for her. Well, I do. She's not the best wrestler there anymore. But I mean, I watched all the documentaries, and the way he speaks to Charlotte Flair and everything like that, he genuinely loves Charlotte Flair. Whether or not that's because of who her father is always going to be a question. Would she have got all this fame and all this glory if Ric Flair wasn't her father? Probably not.
No.
Probably not. But I mean, I'd rather her not be on the match card.
I get you.
I don't mind. I don't mind her being stuck in. I don't mind this role. I can tolerate her in this role because she's not shoved down my throat. When in her heyday, if you want to say that, when she was, as Alan said, consistently getting title matches more or less every pay-per-view, she was shoved. Like I say, she was a female Roman Reigns, and they were both at the same time, and it was the same story for both. Constantly shoved down people's throats, despite most people not liking them. So it's interesting to see her now in the role.
Obviously, this is for anybody to answer, of course. Do you think they're not pushing her as much because of her injury record? And she can't do what she used to be able to do.
She's certainly a lot more injured lately, isn't she? She wears that knee brace going forward. I mean, it's a possibility. But then again, look at Seth Rollins. He's Mr. Glass himself. He can't go 2 months without injuring himself.
I think it's more than that, Com. I think her stock has been lowered because when they brought her back, when she won the Rumble last year, they brought her back. They expected her to be this all-conquering hero, and then she comes out on SmackDown, I think it was, or it might have been Raw, whatever the weekly show is, and she decides who she wants to fight, and the crowd absolutely despised this woman. And she was trying to be a babyface, and I don't know if you guys remember, she was visibly shook by it. She was visibly shook by it, and she screwed up her promo because she let her actual personal emotions get the better of her because she expected to be this returning hero. She expected to be a returning hero, and because the crowd rejected her, she really kind of almost lost it live on air. I remember watching it, thinking, "Wow, she's actually doesn't know how to handle it." She doesn't. She so was expecting to get a hero's return that the fact that the fans didn't want her, they didn't want her winning the Rumble, they didn't want her having another title match. But again, because she's been shoved down her throat so bloody much, it visibly shook her. And I think her mental health probably was affected by it. If you look back a little bit, there's other signs about this as well. And that's all of a sudden that, and then the Tiffany Stratton thing happened very, very soon after that when she started going into business for herself. So I think she probably upset a lot of people backstage, maybe even Daddy H as well. Maybe she did upset him with her professionalism. Because once you're like that and you lose that professionalism, stuff like that can take a long time to get it back. If they feel they can't trust you anymore, they will depush you. And Vince isn't there anymore. Vince is not there anymore to kind of protect her like I think he once did. And Com is right. Triple H loves her as well, but Triple H loves Io Sky, and he can trust Io Sky.
Mm-hmm. There's been so many times where somebody has been given the push, and their backstage actions have caused them to lose that. And I mean, even in the documentaries I watched, even when she's not being the persona of Charlotte Flair that we all see, I still didn't like her. She's got such a silver spoon attitude, and I think that's rubbed off, like what you said. I think that's probably rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
Well, we all heard about the real life issues she had with Becky Lynch, because obviously she was meant to be the star, and then Becky Lynch turned heel on her, and then apparently the real life version, like Charlotte again, was surprised at that because Charlotte was meant to be the conquering hero. We all know about it was meant to be initially Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch was what the title match should have been, and what happens? No, Charlotte somehow finds a way in. Charlotte should never been in. That should have been Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch. That was a feud. That was the hottest feud. That was what the title match should have been. But Charlotte complained and had to be in, and forced her way into that match. So she's obviously lost friendships along the way, because I don't think her ego can handle not being the main woman. That's just my opinion, of course.
And I suppose the apple doesn't fall far from the tree in that regard, because
Yeah.
But I did want to quickly ask you about one thing that did happen the last time Bailey was on air, and Michael Cole has finally got his revenge on Bailey and can tweet about something about her, because she slipped during the end of the match the last day. Has Michael Cole got his well and true just desserts by being given the opportunity to finally take the piece out of Bailey?
Probably.
Maybe.
He's been waiting a while. He's been waiting a while for it.
Sure, yeah. I know he's been picking at Bailey for a while, and I think she's been picking at him for a while. There's not much really they can really do. But
it is a shame, Rebel, though, to see, because I quite like Bailey. I quite like her. She comes across as quite likable, like the outside personality. I generally quite like her, even though I don't find her the most exciting wrestler. And she's also somebody who's kind of, we just spoke about Charlotte. She's one of the original 4 horsewomen, right? Obviously, Sasha left, so there's only 3 of them now. Becky Lynch is still in a very much a featured singles role, so Becky Lynch is still doing fine. But Bailey and Charlotte have both kind of almost. I mean, Bailey was trying to be this kind of split personality character, and that's more or less kind of been just kind of almost dropped down. So she's just. So they were obviously trying to do something with her, trying to make her maybe, like I say, like the guy from Split, or whatever it's called, where she was going to be a face one week and a heel the next, and that could be an interesting character for someone to try to do. But she just kind of just drops it, and now she's just kind of like generally a good guy who every now and again loses her temper a little bit.
Yeah, very true. I suppose it is a kind of question as to why women like Bailey have dropped off. Obviously, we know she had an injury history as well, and maybe there's a bit of that they're kind of trying to protect her a bit, similar to Charlotte. But I suppose we have to wait and see. We'll obviously come back for the predictions, but we have 2 more matches to get through. Obviously, night 1 is a 7-match card, and night 2 is a 6-match card. So I wonder, will one of them be a squash match? And I'm looking at John Wick, Seth freaking Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah, and Gunther. I'm wondering, after what we heard on Monday night, have we been led down a path of somebody's going to get choked out?
hopefully. I'm not a fan of Seth Rollins at all. It's that goddamn music. I can't fucking stand it.
Whoa!
No, you're a heel for crying out loud. So let people
He's not a heel anymore, though. He's
I know, but I don't mind
it
when he was
now,
a heel,
but-
yeah, that's when he was a heel. That shouldn't have happened. You should tell people to shut the hell up. Stop singing along to your song.
Yeah, it's weird.
He should have come out to silence when he was a heel, really. But no, I just hope Gunther just grabs him, chokes him. And that's it. I'm kind of done with Seth Rollins. He's the new Mr. Kennedy. He can't go too much without getting injured. I would not push him at all. If I was Trips, I'll be saying, do you know what? You are forever now in the mid card. No more titles for you.
The problem, Alan, with Seth Rollins, I think, is and I say it's not his fault. He probably doesn't get. He doesn't decide if he's going to be a good guy or a bad guy, right? That's creative,
Yeah.
right? I'm sure he's got influence where he can say what he'd prefer to be. But I'm sure if he's told to do it, he'll do it. So I don't know how much of this is on him. But he's got what I call the kind of a big show syndrome now, right? He's somebody who's turned face and heel and face and heel and face and heel. That I don't really know what he is. I mean, he turns heel at WrestleMania, joins up with Paul Heyman. He has a 6-month run, obviously cashes in Money in the Bank. He then gets injured. Shit happens, right? Not his fault. Fine. He as Alan says, he is injury prone, but fine. Okay, he gets injured. And then the Vision turned on him. So now he's a babyface again. But he'd only just turned heel a couple of months later. So he's flip flopped so much that I don't really see him as anything, because if somebody changes so often, so much, like the Big Show, and Kane also, Alan was a bit guilty of this.
Yeah, that's right.
He just turned face and heel, face and heel. I'm not saying you can't ever turn face and heel, but you need to have some time in between. You can't just keep shifting. You can't just keep shifting so often. So they made a decision to write him out because he was injured. They decided to have Breakker attack him, which is fine, I guess. And now he's back, and now he's back as a babyface. He's not even feuding with the Vision because they're all bloody injured. And if what Com says is right, then I think Breakker 100% appears, and that's how Rollins loses, because Gunter ain't losing. I'm convinced Gunter's not losing. They did not give him the John Cena retirement. They did not give him the AJ Styles retirement just to have him lose to Seth Rollins in a match out of nowhere, because this match has got no build. They've panicked. They've put the match together at 2 weeks' notice because neither one could have the opponent they wanted. There's no way Gunter's losing this match. So if Breakker comes in, spears Rollins, Gunter wins. Gunter goes to a showdown with Lesnar for SummerSlam. So
myself and Alan, we actually talked about this, and you have a view as to the future GM of Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah.
And you have a view of what you think is going to be happening in Brock Lesnar's last match.
Because the rumor is that Nick Aldis is stepping down as a SmackDown GM. Might free him up for a match maybe with Drew McIntyre, because obviously they are aiming for this. I guess this is what they're heading towards. There must be. And Paul Heyman is set to take over the duties at SmackDown. This is probably where the favor comes into it. Set up the match at SummerSlam for Gunter versus Brock Lesnar. That's not a prediction. That's a spoiler.
Oh.
I don't think I want to see that match, because Brock Lesnar's another one that's been in and out, and they've given Gunther all these things. Like he's retired John Cena, he's retired AJ Styles. I'm sure he'll retire a couple more. Why? It's very clear that he's not going to lose against Brock Lesnar, who's probably going to retire.
Yep.
Yeah, SummerSlam's meant to be his last match.
That's what I mean. They're not going to have Brock Lesnar beat the guy that's retiring everyone. That was like, obviously, the thing that I put this to, the closest thing I can remember, is obviously the Randy Orton Legend Killer arc that he had.
Oh yeah,
where
he's punting left and right.
Yeah, that's what Gunther's doing right now. He's having his Legend Killer arc, and like, I mean, with this match against Seth Rollins, it's going to be weird if Gunther doesn't win it. I mean, I understand why they've changed Seth Rollins back to babyface. I get it, because him being a heel and the crowd singing your song and everything, it doesn't work. So you've got to do something. Creative have to do something.
And the best thing to do. Why didn't Rollins change his song, Com? Why didn't Rollins take a book out of his wife? Right, his wife should be showing him how to be a heel, because his wife doesn't mind being heel. In fact, she likes it. He should be embracing the heelness. He should change
I don't
his
think
song.
Seth wants to be a heel. I think Seth wants to be the babyface. Seth wants to have the spotlight on him and be loved by everybody. Like, his shining light as a heel was when he turned on the Shield all those years ago.
Yeah.
And it's every time he's gone back, it's never matched that. And I don't think he can match that. So it's easier and better for him to stay babyface.
If I remember correctly, and because you raised it, Tequila, Becky actually went to one of her favorite bands, a band that they're friendly with, herself and Seth, and said, "Look, if I can get approval, will you do a theme song for me?" And she got approval. She brought the song to WWE, and as you said, she wasn't afraid to get rid of the tune that everybody knows her by.
Exactly. Because Becky maybe Com's right, because Becky wants to be a heel. She wants to. I think if you ask her, she wants to be a heel more than a babyface. even though you can say that she was at her nada when she got her WrestleMania main event, and she deserved that WrestleMania event because at the time she was the most popular person on the roster. She was at the time, but that was as a babyface, so they had to go with it. But she wanted to be a heel. When she turned on Charlotte all those years ago, she wasn't meant to be a babyface. The crowd rejected the heel turn, kind of like they did with Randy Orton, which we'll talk about soon. They rejected the heel turn, and they made her a babyface. But Becky always wanted to be the heel, and I think she's proven that she's much better as a heel than a babyface. She can do the babyface stuff, but she obviously, you can tell she enjoys it a lot more when she's doing her heel stuff, especially her kind of cowardly, sarcastic kind of heel stuff, which I think she's good at. And she got a new song, but Rollins just maybe comes right. Rollins didn't want to go all in. He wanted to keep the music. Why would you want people humming your song? You're a heel. You want them booing you. You don't want to be doing anything that makes them cheer you. Why would you want that?
He loves them singing the song. You see it in his face when he comes out and he's like orchestrating them to do it and stuff. He does not want to be like at all.
So he wants to be a cool heel then, or you don't think he wants to be heel, or he wants to be one of the cool heels like the NWA were. Yeah.
I'm going to move us on because I am conscious that we're still only getting to the main event now of night one. And we've got the undisputed WWE Championship featuring Cody. I don't really care about your shtick anymore, Rhodes. Sorry, Cody. And Randy. The crowd won't let you be heel Orton, so you have to sit in the fence and be orange. Plus friends that nobody really wants involved in Jelly and Pat McAfee.
The crowd groans. Well, the crowd goes mild even.
What a fantastic.
There's so much wrong with this match. So much wrong. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Cody versus Randy. It's not a main event match. It's not 1-on-1 anyway. They should have had this match years ago. And they did actually. They had Cody versus Randy. Okay, Ted DiBiase was there too, but they still had it.
I'm still shocked that they've chosen to do this build the way they have. I'm still waiting for the video. I was looking forward to this feud as soon as Cody came back years ago. I thought to myself, when they do this feud, it's going to be massive. And you wait 2 years before they finally go in that direction. And I was expecting the first thing they see to have this. You know, WWF, at least they used to make these great video packages. We all remember the Austin and Rock run, right, to Limp Bizkit. They make these great video packages. They've got so much material in their library that they could show the whole history of the legacy of Randy Orton, as Com said earlier, about Randy Orton's legend killer persona. And who was the first legend he killed? Dusty Rhodes. Mm-hmm. And Cody was there. They've got so much story and material from the past that they could put into this amazing video package that could sell the feud by itself. You wouldn't even have to have Orton and Cody Rhodes cut a promo. They wouldn't even have to get into the ring and cut a promo. You play that video and then you could have them do separate promos, and that would have been all the build you needed, because that video package would have told the whole story, the whole 20-year story of Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. They've got so much material to draw upon. And what do? They bring in Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll. What long-term booking is this? What kind of what vision, what creativity or vision do they have? I'm shocked because Triple H is an old style wrestling booker. He is. And I'm shocked that he has allowed this to happen, because I don't think this was his choice. I'm shocked that he's allowed it to happen. Because this is the kind of stuff you got to say, look, if you're making me do this shit, then I've got to seriously consider my position. Because if he cares about the art at all, then to drop the ball so heavily because he's been forced by TKO's bosses to do this stuff, then I don't know. It's him who's going to get the flack for it, because it's going to be under his banner. But how you can drop the ball with you've got Rebel, you've got so much story you could tell, mate. There's so much that you could tap into.
Absolutely. And I'm going to ask you this question. Like, I don't think there was anything wrong with Randy succumbing to the voices in his head and what he did to Cody that started the whole thing. But as you said then, your next step was that video package. And you take Cody back to what Randy did to his father and the legacy, and you do a whole pile of different things. And as you said, you have a different feud, and you don't involve NPCs that have no business being involved in the story.
Yeah, I mean, like what we're all saying here. Yeah, they've got a massive history, massive. All they had to do, like Tequila said, is put this package together, and all Randy Orton has to do, and he doesn't have to say it to anybody. He doesn't have to say it to Cody. He can do it on the screen like he has done before. All he has to around and say is, "I was the legend killer. I killed your father. Now I'm going to kill you, just like I did him." That writes itself.
Yeah, but then we don't get Jelly Roll doing his choke slam. Why is Jelly Roll doing a choke? A choke slam's meant to be done by somebody who's really tall, like Undertaker, Kane, Razor Ramon. These big tall guys. Not. This is more like the Hurricane. You remember the Hurricane does a choke slam comedy match. That's like Jelly Roll doing the choke slam. It's so stupid. It's so bloody stupid.
It's because he can't do anything else. That's why.
Brock Lesnar had a choke slam, remember?
Oh man.
No. That night one is a shocker.
Yeah, it's not a good card at all. It's lacking.
The match will be decent because they're both good workers. The match will probably be decent until you get near the end and you have Jelly and Pat getting involved because you know they're going to.
Yeah, of course.
It'll be good until that. And, yeah, the match will be fine until you get to that point, and then I imagine the crowd are going to. I don't think there's a way to make the crowd go home happy on night one. Because if Cody retains, a lot of people are fed up with him. If Randy Orton retains, it'll be like, oh great, so we've got to pop with more Pat. They're basically put themselves into a no-win situation. The fans are not going to be happy no matter what happens. And I'll tell you what, that's wrong. If they had Orton RKO Pat McAfee and won the title and then RKO Pat McAfee, that might work. That's all they could do.
I wonder, could we see Stephanie McMahon insert herself into, because obviously she did get involved in part of that build, as bad as it was. But I am going to get predictions because I want to get night one put to sleep and buried. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do a snake draft order. I'm going to start with Alan, then Cullum, then Tequila, then me, then back to me, Tequila, Cullum, Alan, until we get to the last match. So Alan, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, ISO Speed versus the Usos and LA Knight. Your winner and method, please.
I think ISO Speed pins LA Knight.
ISO Speed pins Knight. Okay, Cullum.
Yeah, I can't see anything different, to be fair. Vision win. LA Knight gets pinned.
Vision win. Does that count, Alan? Does he have to say who does the pinning?
Technically, you have to say who pins who.
Does it matter?
Just for the point system.
Stuff your point system. Yeah, go on, ISO Speed.
Speed. Okay. Tequila.
The Usos and LA Knight are going to win. They're going to do the whole yeeting stuff because they have to, and they want to start the show off with a big babyface win, I think. So Austin Theory is going to be the fall guy. Yes, they're going to have him pinned instead of ISO Speed. Austin Theory gets pinned by LA Knight.
Theory pinned by Knight. Yeah.
Let me talk to you.
And then my prediction is ISO Speed doesn't even make the match, and Braun Breaker absolutely crucifies LA Knight, and it's Breaker pins Knight for me.
So you were talking about a squash match. Maybe this is a squash match.
Yeah, like there's seven matches on the card. There's 6 on night 2. One of them's going to have to run short.
Yeah, but not if that's the only contest. They're not going to do a squash match in the contest, I don't think.
Yeah, but then match 2, Fatu gets the win, and it's obviously going to be by. You can't pin an unsanctioned, can you?
Yeah, isn't it falls count anywhere? Is it not a falls count anywhere kind of thing?
Oh yeah, so Fatu by pin, outside the ring. If that's the case, if it's false count anywhere. Tequila.
Yeah. McIntyre's filming Highlander, isn't he? Let's be honest. So I don't want to see another loss of McIntyre, but yeah, Jake is going to win this one because I think they are going to try to push him to the main event, although I have my worries about it. But yeah, Fatu's going to win this.
Fatu by pin, I suppose, again.
Yeah.
We will speak about Fatu in more detail in another show because we obviously all feel that he should be a heel. But anyway, Cullen's next. Sorry.
Fatu.
Yeah. Are you saying by pin, or are you going to go with something different?
I think it gets stopped.
Fatu stoppage. Okay.
Yeah, that's sufficiently interesting.
And Alan.
I'm going to go different. I'm actually going to go McIntyre.
Drew.
McIntyre by pinfall.
Okay, and then that brings you up again for the Women's World Championship. Stephanie Valkyrie, Liv Morgan.
I'm going to go Liv Morgan by pinfall, thanks to Roxanne Perez.
Mm-hmm. Column.
Stephanie Vaca.
Ooh. Steph by
DQ.
Really?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay.
That's getting booed out of the building.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going off the vibes of this night, so.
I think Liv Morgan 100% wins the belt. I think the Stephanie experiment should be cancelled. I think Rodriguez helps her, and I think that's going to be the feud going forwards. Rodriguez and Morgan, one of them's going to turn. Probably Rodriguez, maybe. Rodriguez is going to help Morgan win. I think. Won't be clean.
How?
Be pinfall, won't be clean though. Be pinfall.
Dirty pin. So.
She'll probably hit Oblivion, whatever it's called, but there'll be fuckery from Perez. Probably get involved in well, but I think it'll be Rodriguez that is the big assist.
And I'm going to go Liv by submission.
Okay.
But I do agree shenanigans will be aplenty because I do see that Perez detachment coming. I agree with you there. So then there's Northwest, Becky, by the Disarmer. Pick.
I'll be surprised if AJ Lee submits. They don't have their baby faces of a certain level generally give up. And whether we like it or not, they obviously perceive her to be that. I don't think she's going to submit. I think Becky will probably pin her. There might be fuckery involved with using the ref, as you said before, Rebel. I think this time she will use the ref stuff to her advantage and she will win. I don't know if it's going to be clean. I do think it'll be the end of the feud, though. So maybe she will just hit a manhandle slam, but I think she'll win. But I can't see her submitting, so I think it's going to be pinfall.
Colin.
Becky pin. I don't see them making Becky tap out AJ.
And Alan.
Becky wins via pinfall manhandle slam.
Okay. And then that brings us to match 5, the Botch Fest. Botchamania. Al.
I'm going to go Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss to win this one. I want to say Alexa pins Lyra. It is one full to finish, isn't it?
Is it not TLC? Is it not TLC?
Fatal 4-way.
Oh really? So I thought it was
okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Alexa Bliss pins Lyra Valkyria. Charlotte Flair gets her title at WrestleMania.
Column.
I'm gonna go with Bayley and Lyra to win, and they're gonna pin one at Bella Twins.
So, which one?
I forgot the names. Brie. There you go.
No, but which one of
Lyra?
Lyra pills. Brie. Okie dokie. Tequila.
I'm going the opposite to Com. I think the Bellas, Brie Bella only came back so her and Nikki can win the belts. That's the only reason she's there. So they're going to win the belts. Most likely, they're going to get a fall on Lyra Valkyria. I think it will be Brie Mode who pins Lyra Valkyria for the belts.
Okay, and then that list leaves moi, and I don't think we're going to see a title change here. I think they're going to keep some titles on, so I'm going to go with Lash pins Brie through fuckery, and we get a one-on-one. With them in the later show, and obviously then Bellas will get their title. And match 6, John Wick and Gunther. I'm actually going to go with John Wick by count out.
Interesting.
Gunter's going to win via tap out after Bron Breakker stops Rollins from winning. So Bron Breakker is going to cost Rollins the match. I could see a pinfall. I don't know if they want. I just said I don't know if they want to put Rollins, who isn't retiring, if they want to have him go out, considering it's his first match back. It is a tough ask for me because it is his first match back. Rollins' first match back, but I think Gunter wins. I just don't know if it's going to be pinfall or. He ain't going to submit, but he could be a pass out. I think it actually will be a sleeper. I think Rollins will have the match won. Breakker gets involved, spears him. Gunter puts a sleeper in, and just like AJ and Cena, he'll go out to it.
Yeah, Gunther KO.
Yeah,
Gunter KO. Okay.
That's what it's classed as, isn't it?
yeah, it's like it's like Rollins won't give up. Rollins won't like tap out. I see.
Oh yeah, I get what you mean. It's a KO tap rather than a tap.
The referee will stop it. Yeah, that's what.
Stoppage.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And Al.
Yes, I believe exactly the same thing. I think it's going to be stoppage. Referee's going to just going to call the bell on, and Gunther's going to win.
And then Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and the NPCs in the main event. Al.
This will be Randy Orton. I think he's going to take this. Fuckery, obviously, lots of fuckery. I'm sure Jelly Roll will take that slow walk down the aisle. He'll do his Travis Scott impression. And we're going to see Randy Orton.
Via.
Nah, I think Golden Boy Cody Rhodes is going to retain.
Hold on, I need to know. Are these all pinfalls, are they?
Pinfall, yeah.
And Al, is yours pinfall?
Oh yeah, sorry, mine's mine. Yeah, okay, yeah, pinfall, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Tick.
He's going to punt Cody and pin him to win a belt.
So Rhodes. Sorry.
Orton's going to pin. Orton's going to win a belt. Yeah, Orton's going to punt him. He's a punt kick. Yeah.
By pinfall. Okay. And then, yeah, I see the voices winning this. I see some Stephanie McMahon fuckery, but yeah, I reckon we'll see maybe an RKO after Cody Cutter, an aerial, the aerial one he does, and bang, 1, 2, 3 pin Orton, and then that brings us to night 2, the superior looking card on paper, obviously, but we've talked a lot about Oba and Brock over the last couple of shows. And the question I'm going to ask now, after seeing Oba on the mic, do you see that development or an indication of the development you were looking for, Tequila?
I think it was okay. I'm not doubting his promo ability that much. His promo is okay. It's not I don't think it's incredible. I think he's got to work on it. He's new. The kid's new. He's got to figure out who he is. He's got to figure out the character. My concern, as you said before, Rebel, was I want to see how he can sell during the match. So I'm going to be watching this very carefully at the start of night 2 because I don't see what a lot of people see. So he needs to win me over. So I need to see him if he goes in there and throws Brock around and dominates, which I can see them doing, by the way, I can see him going in there. And you want to talk about a squash match? Brock Lesnar has short matches anyway. This ain't going longer than 6 minutes. I don't think so. It's going to be a big power. They're going to be hitting finishes right from the first minute. You can already tell it's going to be that kind of match, like Goldberg had with Brock Lesnar. It's going to be high impact, high tempo, high impact, short match. So I don't think I'm probably going to get to see what I want to see, and I want to see Obafemi in a longer match, showing that he can be vulnerable and seeing if the crowd can get behind him. I don't think I'm going to get to see that this match, just by the nature of his opponent. So until I can start seeing that, I'm not going to be sold on him. But I think that I'll be shocked if Brock wins. I don't. It makes, despite me maybe wanting Brock to win, it doesn't make any sense for Brock to win this match because they'll be burying him before he's got a chance. Really, even though I don't think he deserves the spotlight that he's getting. It's literally they'll destroy him if they have him lose. I think he can't lose. He can't lose. Really, if he's got any future, he can't lose. It'll be. There's sometimes you have to win certain matches, and if they really want him to be a main event guy, which it looks like they do, he's got to win this match. So,
I mean, I'm far from being sold on Oba. He's this year's, this generation's Brock Lesnar, Ryback, Batista.
Yeah,
he's just this year's big guy. That's all he is.
Don't be putting Ryback in with Brock Lesnar and Batista. Come on now.
Why? They did exactly the same thing. They came in, dominated for a bit, and then settled down. Ryback came in, dominated for a bit, settled down. Batista did the same thing.
Ryback was significantly worse than both Brock Lesnar and Batista.
I'm not saying like wrestling ability are on the same level. I'm saying what they did when they first came in is exactly the same.
Yeah, but that's what me and Rebel was saying the other week. Ryback went on his tear for 6 months where all he was doing was fighting two guys. Obafemi, they've hot-shotted him into this match. He hasn't had like 6 months of doing squash matches. In the olden times, this match wouldn't be happening until a year or two after the debut because the first year would just be him squashing guys on superstars. They've hot-shotted him into this match. That's why I'm concerned because they're hot-shotting him into such a high-profile feud. That it might be too much for the kid. We'll see. Sink or swim, I suppose. But
I got to kind of look at this from the perspective of, I do agree that there's probably going to be some sort of a short version. So instead of method of victory for this one, I'm going to ask us when we do the predictions at the end, who wins and what minute it's going to be under. So basically, if you go over your minute, you get nothing. And then obviously, if you're under your minute, you get a point. But obviously, if you're the next minute, you get nothing as well. So that's going to be the jeopardy. You're going to have to be within.
Oh wow!
But then I think we're looking at the next match is where you're probably going to see a lot of the time that we won't be using an Oba versus Brock being used because we're getting an Intercontinental Championship ladder match. And riddle me this, spot the odd one out. We got, of course, Penta, the champion. We got the bouncy one, Javon Evans. We got Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, the royalty of the flippy shit, Ray, the only real Mysterio, and then Rusev.
Yeah, Rusev does a blog in this match. It's not his style at all.
Why is he even in this match?
He's in this match to catch them all. They need a big guy to catch the falls, right? There's always one guy. Do you remember when Kane was in the Money in the Bank match? Because all the other guys were small. There's always got to be one dude who's bigger than the other, so he can be like the fulcrum of taking the big dives, and they're all standing on the outside of the ring. That's why he's there. He's there to catch the cruiserweights. That's why he's there.
I mean, true. Looking at this match, I only see. Well, I see 3 possible outcomes. Only 2 of them I would be happy with. Like, Penta continues his reign. I've got no issue with that. Penta's been a good champion. I like Penta. The stuff he does in the ring is very, very cool. I like it.
Yeah.
I like Dragon Lee as well. I think Dragon Lee is very underrated. And obviously, the other person's Rey Mysterio, but he's coming towards the back end of his career. So, are they going to stick the title on him for one last run as a champion? Or are they actually going to focus at the future and let it stay with Penta or Dragon Lee?
God, that just raises it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do you know what? You might be onto something. That's worrying.
And I got to add something that to scramble your brain cell. If they put the belt on Rey Mysterio, it does give the perfect opponent for Sheamus to get his bro kick squash match done, retire, and with his Intercontinental Championship, because I think Sheamus is coming towards the end because I think those injuries are catching him.
Yeah, he's not getting it. No, Sheamus is not going to. Not this. No.
No, but I mean,
if he does, it won't be for many months. But no, if Mysterio's taking this title, if this is why he's been put into this match to win this, he's dropping it next month in his last match against Dominic. That's the worrying thing. And then we're back into that cycle again of Dominic holding this IC title ransom because he doesn't defend it hardly often. I think he defended it twice in his first run.
Well, maybe I'm looking long vision. This is long vision here. Maybe Rey does win it, drops it to Dominic, and then we get another Balor Dominic match, and Balor takes off Dominic.
Yep, yeah, that's very possible. That is very possible.
I could care less about this match. It's pointless to me. It's been thrown together with nobody deserves. None of these guys have got any kind of a win-loss record, and don't tell me wins and losses don't. Maybe they don't matter, but they should matter, right? All these guys. I can't remember the last time most of these guys won a match, and if they did win a match, it's an occasional match. Show me one of these guys has got any kind of momentum to get a title shot.
Got momentum, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's a champion, other than the champion who's got momentum getting a title shot.
Bounty won us a few wins, hasn't
he? He's only had a couple of matches. It's just
he's been bouncing around the Americanos, hasn't he? Really, he's been against them for a few weeks straight.
It's just I'm old school, right? The IC title used to be a big deal. I wish it was a big deal again. Having this kind of a match doesn't make it a big deal because there's no thought put into it. So I care about this match as much as the thought that's gone into it. They've put no thought into it, so I don't care about the match.
Is it because they botched the fact that they released the results of the qualification matches beforehand?
Right. Well, that didn't help. There was no drama. As for Rey winning it, I got to disagree with Com a little bit on it. I think if Rey was going to win the belt, I think he would have beaten Dominic for it and not Penta.
Yeah.
But this way, he doesn't have to pin him. That's the thing.
Yeah, but Rey could have been going into WrestleMania as the champion, and then if they're going to put the title back on Dominic, as has been suggested, then they just would have had Rey would have won it off him, and then Dominic would have just win it back. It doesn't throwing Penta in there, and if Penta's only going to be a transitional champion, which is what he would be if he drops it right back to Dominic, doesn't do him any favors, does it? Really?
Yeah.
So
I'm going to keep this moving because obviously we are kind of pushing along. Obviously, next up then is the Women's World Championship, and a woman that has the physique was promising us that a storm was coming. Seems like she ordered a storm from Timu, and she's coming up against the Eradicator, Rhea Bleeding Ripley.
I hope Rhea Ripley wins, and I hope Jade Cargill packs her bags and fucks back off to AEW.
She got a lot of heat backstage, I think, Jade Cargill.
I don't like her at all.
I'm not a fan of her either. She's very, like I've said it time and time again, she's green as goose shit. I mean, her name suits her, Jade.
But she's that bitch, though.
Yeah, she is that bitch.
Well, she can go be that bitch at AEW because she's nowhere near good enough.
Yeah, go back and claim that TBS champion or whatever it was, championship.
There's this hype that she got when she arrived. Everyone was like, "It's Jade Cargill," and everyone lost the shit. It's like, why? She is a mediocre wrestler at best. I've seen indie female wrestlers put on better shows.
I would be honest with you, when she came out first, like obviously you looked at the physique and you're like, okay, you're saying she's got to have the ability to be able to do certain things, like lifting women that maybe other superstars weren't able to do, but she just, as you said, is dry as dishwater, dirt on the mic, and her moveset, meh. Can anyone say meh?
What
But,
moveset? What moveset?
True. Fair point.
She is China without any of the skill.
God, China didn't have much skill to begin with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But at least with China, you got something from her because she looked menacing. She was able to kind of put something across the screen as to why she was involved with D-Generation X. But Jade, like, I wouldn't even put her on an NXT card at this point.
I wouldn't have her in WWE.
We all know why she was hired. She's hired because of the look. One of the three factors. She's hired because she's got a very unique look. Most women do not. Very, very few women in the world look like her. So that's why she's like the Great Khali, or she's like the Giant Gonzalez. That's what she is. She's a female version, pretty much, of them. She wasn't hired because she can wrestle. She wasn't hired because she can cut a promo, because she can't do either. She was hired because she's 99% of the world don't look like her. That's why she was hired.
Yeah, and I mean, like, this is obviously our last watchers RuPaul Drag Race, and they say there's obviously a 4-letter word that they use in there, which stands for charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. She has 3 of them, but the most important one, the talent aspect, she doesn't have.
Yeah.
And I'm saying she's got charisma, maybe just.
I'm not sure about the charisma part.
She might have the uniqueness and nerve. Then
she's got the uniqueness, I suppose, because of just but.
But when you talk, if we're still around in 10 years' time, you talk about women's careers and you compare Jade Cargill to Chelsea Green, I guarantee you, none of us are going to be arguing for Jade Cargill.
I guarantee if we're still talking about this in 10 years' time, you mentioned Jade Cargill, I'm going to go, who?
Fair enough. I'm going to keep us moving because I think we all feel that anything other than a Rhea result is going to be getting booed out the building. But I will come back to your predictions.
Rhea ain't winning, guys. I'm sorry to tell you to bring bearer bad news, but there's no way that Jade's losing this belt. I'm sorry to tell you. You can't see what they're going for. They're going for Bianca until Bianca Belair comes back. She ain't dropping that belt.
Well, we will get your official prediction shortly. But possibly the most stupid storyline decision, and pardon me if I get involved in this part of the conversation because this one annoyed the living shit out of me. I know Sami Zayn, they wanted to get him into WrestleMania's card. But a bit like the Cody versus Randy Orton thing, we had Carmelo and Trick's footage to set up a perfect feud. The unfinished business from NXT, home to roost. A bit like, when KO came on scene and actually fought with Sami. There was the history there. But no, TQ has given us Sami Zayn. And I actually like Sami versus Trick Williams. Let's go.
Yeah.
I don't know what they even do in this match, really.
I think that their plans for Sami Zayn has all gone tits up. I think that they were not expecting. They were expecting him at Saudi Arabia at the Rumble. They were expecting him to get some kind of a hero's. He's nearly going to win the title. Oh, we want him to win the title so badly. But the truth is, the fans didn't really give a shit, and I think that shook them up a bit. Because I believe the plan was to have Sami Zayn win the belt at next year's WrestleMania. I don't think they can do that now. The fans have generally turned against Sami Zayn. I don't particularly understand why. Okay, I think it's a little bit like they've just got a little bit fed up of his nice guy act, and they seem to want him to I don't know, get a bit more aggressive, and then he gets a bit more aggressive, but they continue to boo him. So I don't think they know what they want to do with Sammy, because I think the original plan was, like I say, they were going to have him win the belt in Saudi next year. I don't think they can do that now, because they're not going to do it. He's not going to do it as a heel. He's more or less turning heel. Sami Zayn is more or less, if he's not a heel yet, and he's kind of at that really grey area where it looks like he's about to become a heel, the fans are going to cheer Trick Williams over him. So Sami's going to have to turn heel. I don't get it. I don't understand it really, because Sami Zayn is much better as a babyface than a heel. He's one of the best. He and Daniel Bryan, I always thought those two were so similar. They had that underdog, that they're pale skinned, they're scraggly looking, they look like average Joes, but they're great. They're these great technical wrestlers who have great babyface heart. And I'm not saying Sami Zayn can't be a heel. He has been a heel in the past, and he's been quite fun. But he's always going to be a better babyface. He's a really good underdog wrestler, and that is the perfect story that they should be telling for the Saudi Arabia WrestleMania next year. But it's all gone mixed up because they reacted badly to him at Saudi Arabia, and that match against Drew McIntyre for the belt was a nothing match. There was no heat to it. The fans. And it's probably because the fans didn't believe that Sammy had a chance, because everybody knew that he wasn't going to win the belt from Drew. So I don't understand what they're doing with Sami Zayn. I know they're big on Trick Williams. I expect Trick Williams probably to win the belt. I don't know what they're going to do with Sami Zayn. I think it's a shame, because Sami Zayn, I think, is going to end up being one of those wrestlers who they're going to look back on and say he should have beaten Roman in Montreal. He should have won that title in Montreal.
He's going to be Dolph Ziggler.
Yes. I think that looks like that's what he's going to become. He's going to be somebody who they should have pulled the trigger on, and they missed the moment, and now he's going to fizzle out, because now the fans are they've lost their interest in him. The time to pull the trigger was at the end of the Bloodline storyline. He was the most popular guy on the roster during that period.
I see a way of saving Sami Zayn.
How come?
And that is dusting off a very, very old persona.
El Generico.
Bring El Generico back and let him wrestle as El Generico.
Scrappy underdog.
It gives him a completely fresh start, really, doesn't it? If you think about it. You know, he's no longer Sami Zayn, he's El Generico. And I think with the Intercontinental or, cruiserweights that we have, he'll put on better matches than being thrown in against Trick Williams in a title defense that nobody really wants him to win.
Question for you now, just on Trick. Obviously, it took him a while to come up from the NXT roster. He has got the crowd behind him, similar to Oba. But do you reckon there's still a lot of greenness hanging around him?
Yep.
Yeah, there is. But at the end of the day, if you're going to push somebody, why not get him to beat a veteran?
True. And let him learn on the job?
Yeah. They've done it to many, many people in the past, haven't they? Why should Trick Williams be any different?
Very true. I will move along again, and it's demon time. I'm just going to throw it straight to Colin. Talk.
Oh, I have been waiting so long. So long for Demon Finn to come back. My favourite wrestler, Demon Finn Balor. This is one. I literally would not watch any of Sunday's match card because I'm not interested, apart from this match, because I've waited so long for Demon Finn to come back. This is when Finn Balor is, in his element, when he's Demon Finn. And the fact that it's going to be against Dominic Mysterio and he's going to absolutely batter Dominic Mysterio. It's going to be chef's kiss. Mwah.
Alan and Tequila are stunned into silence.
I don't think I probably have the affinities for Finn Balor that you guys do, at least Rebel and Com. I don't mind him. I think they badly dropped the ball with him. Obviously, Vince McMahon had plans for him when he won the Universal title. And then, unfortunately for Balor, he got injured. And I think Vince McMahon saw him as being injury prone. which probably wasn't that fair because he's not been injured that much. I mean, yes, he was injured then, but if you look the last 10 years or so, he's not been somebody who's been injured again and again. I mean, no more than anyone else. So he wasn't injury prone. So it sucks that Vince kind of got it into his head that, oh, this guy's injury prone. This guy's I can't really back him. So that's a shame. And I did think that under the Triple H regime, he would be given a bigger spotlight, but he's gotten lost in the shuffle. He's a guy who he's got a good look, but in some ways he's too small. He's that kind of size where when you see him in the ring against massive heavyweight guys, some of the bigger guys, you do struggle to lose your disbelief. Now, I know wrestling obviously is scripted, and if stuff's done right, you can believe anything. You can believe a smaller guy can beat a bigger guy. Of course you can. But it's how they present themselves. I don't know what it is. Finn Balor has always come across to me as not being able to hang with the main eventers. And that's probably not his fault. It's the booking. He's always somebody, he's got that stigma about him where he can't win the big one. And the one time he won the big one, he got himself injured. And ever since then, again, maybe he's a Dolph Ziggler, like we just took. Maybe he's another one of them. He never ever seems to win the big matches. And the demon thing. Just let me finish about the demon thing, Rebel. Then it's all yours. The demon thing is what set him apart because Vince McMahon loved that shit, just like he loved the Undertaker. He loves those kind of gimmicks. The fact that that's been gone from his act for nearly 5 years plus kind of robbed him of his uniqueness. And he's kind of become, ever since he's a heel, obviously, he's just become, oh, he's the bearded guy in a Judgment Day. And the Judgment Day's done Finn Balor no favors because that stable has just done, that stable's been cursed nearly from it's like the Vision. It's not as bad as the Vision, but every member who joins that group gets kicked out in the order they joined. Edge formed the group, he gets kicked out first. Then Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest, then they get kicked out, and then Finn Balor comes in, and now Finn Balor gets kicked out. So Judgment Day has damaged Finn Balor's career. I'm not saying he's got no chance ever to get to those heights again, but I think with his age, he's coming into the last portion of his career now, and he's suffered so many losses, guys. He suffered so many losses for so many years. It's hard to really believe in him, and it sucks because he's obviously a very talented guy. Sorry,
I wanted to ask you actually because you mentioned the demon and you mentioned about the suspension of belief of him against the big guys, and I want to take you back to Demon Finn versus the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns when he was at the top of his kind of story with the bloodline, and that was poetry in motion with the way that they actually put that match out. And then they gave us the heartbeat and the revival. And if you ever saw a moment where WWE, despite how important Roman was, missed the boat for an opportunity, Roman should have dropped the belt that night. He could have got it back a month later, but he should have dropped the belt that night. Because you did see the smaller guy look like he was hanging with the big man in that particular match.
They should have booked him that he never loses when he's the demon character. That should be like his last resort, right? So when he's normal Finn Balor, he can lose. Whenever he channels the demon, which is only special occasions, right, as it should be, he doesn't lose. And he's lost twice. He's lost to Roman in that silly way, like you said, falling off the buckle, which was just, I don't know. And then they had him lose to Edge as well. So he's actually lost twice as the demon character. And I think that's really damaging. He never should have lost as the demon character. You have him lose as normal Balor, but when he's a demon character, there should have been that Undertaker WrestleMania kind of mystique where he just doesn't lose when he channels.
If the rumors of what is meant to believe that this is a different Demon Finn, then it doesn't matter that he's lost as Demon Finn twice before. If this is a newer version of Demon Finn, you know what I mean?
As in,
It
basically,
depends on how different it is, I guess.
stick the history in the back wagon. Kind of, this is a much
Like, for instance, if this is a much darker version,
They'd have to build it up again then, They'd need to build it up again.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So in a way, you probably have to draw up a list of victims for the demon and space it out as Tequila said over the course of 18 months.
Well, that's fine because you're saying draw up a list. Well, Dominic Mysterio is the first.
Yeah.
Then you've got the rest of the Judgment Day that he can go through.
Yeah.
So that's what, 3 or 4? What,
Would
3?
you waste a demon match on JD?
No, I think what happens is he has a normal match as Finn, and obviously Dominic Mysterio, somebody's getting involved. The lights go out, and then obviously the dark demon version of Finn is there, and that's how he wins the match then, because he's had to tap into that because obviously he's getting screwed.
Fair enough. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Alan, obviously you haven't had a chance to speak on this yet. Before we come to the main event, talk to me.
Yeah, I'm with Com on this. I'm looking forward to Demon Finn. He's not been utilised very well, as Tahida's been saying, because obviously he's been stuck in that god awful Judgment Day faction, which has overstayed his welcome by probably about 2 years.
Yep.
I think this is going to be this could be the squash of the event. This one, I think. And I think they owe Finn this, because Finn, as I said, Finn's been stuck. He's been stuck in this Judgment Day faction, and he's had loss after loss after loss being in this faction too. So I think they owe him something. So if he goes in, squashes Dom, I'll be happy with that.
I'm going to ask a question, not related to this match, but related to Judgment Day. If Edge had signed an extension that time, would they have kicked him out, I wonder? And would we have seen a different direction with Judgment Day, with Edge as basically the Pope of Judgment Day, essentially?
Yeah, I think it would have been a different dynamic completely. Obviously, the Judgment Day was built around Edge. Obviously, bringing in Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest to be at his side. And they did that at Mania, of all places. So they must have been all in on him, thinking, okay, we'll give you this massive faction. Here you go. Here's a new contract, sign the dotted line, which he refused. Hence why they decided to kick him.
I think Alan. I think Balor should have joined still. I think those four, all four of them together, would have been a really, really good quartet.
Yeah.
If it was just Edge, Balor, Priest, and Rhea,
yeah.
I would have been, I would have Judgment Day shirts and everything, because what a faction that is.
It's good.
Absolutely. And just before I get to the main event, I did mention it in the private chat. There has been an announcement by WWE. Joe Jonas will open Mania with the American National Anthem.
Don't care. Let's get on to the main event.
That just means I can miss the most 5 minutes. I'll go for a toilet break. Thanks for telling me that.
Fair enough. But yeah, that does bring us to the main event. And I think we all feel that there's been highs and lows with the build. But it's Chicago's CM Punk and the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns.
I really hope if this had been good probably about 10 years ago, I think, when Punk was more in his prime, we would have had another Money in the Bank kind of a match. I think, Punk would be like looking at the crowd, but the crowd would be chanting, "You can't wrestle" or something. That's what I would imagine. That's what I would love. The fact that the people turn on Roman Reigns and say, "You can't wrestle," but we all know Punk can.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, this one, because if rumours are to be believed, Reigns isn't going to be staying around for much longer, and Punk's towards the end of his career.
Yeah.
So it's like they're doing it just because it's two big names. That's why they're doing this.
Oh yeah, of course.
There's other people that could have had in this match, but who's the two big names that we've got? Oh, I know, CM Punk, because we've got the belt on him, and he keeps doing these pipe bombs and all this and all that, and obviously Roman Reigns, who is always in the pissing spotlight whenever he's available. So
exactly as Tahita said, he's Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, exactly.
He always needs the title. He's never away from it.
No, I think it's gonna be a very boring match.
I want to push out an alternative for discussion, because I did mention it before. I think that if they actually decided maybe to pull the trigger on Finn beating Punk, we could have got Demon 2 versus Roman, and that would have been entertaining.
That would bring up a good match, and hopefully Demon gets his win back.
I'm not entertained by anything that involves Roman Reigns.
I think it's. I don't know about you guys, but I've been enjoying it immensely because I've been watching. Not that I needed any more proof. I've been watching CM Punk absolutely destroy Roman Reigns over on promos, teaching him actually what actual unique charisma is. Because Roman Reigns, as Punk said in his last promo, not last week, the week before, when he on his pipe bomb stuff, that's exactly what a lot of people think of Roman Reigns. This newer generation, not so much, because a lot of these fans came into it during the whole Bloodline storyline, which is fine. Roman Reigns has been okay during the blood. As soon as he became the Tribal Chief character, he's become a lot better. Not amazing. He's still not he's not amazing, but he's become better. But I remember, like I'm sure a lot of you guys, the 8 years that Punk said of WrestleMania main events, where Roman Reigns was shoved down our throats as a babyface, as the next Cena, babyface getting booed. Roman Reigns is plastic. He's not naturally charismatic. He's manufactured. CM Punk is, I'm not saying there's no manufacturing with CM Punk. He's got the machine behind him as well, but he's much more unique and much more an individual than Roman Reigns is. And I do like the fact that CM Punk, probably with the creative team's blessing, has brought this into the program, because it is how a lot of older school and older fans, because that's really what this is, really. A lot of the older fans, like me and probably Alan, I might speak for you guys, but like me and Alan, are going to take CM Punk's side in this, because we had to sit and watch Roman Reigns be shoved down our throats for 8 years. Like the last couple of years, he's been better. When he turned heel, he became better. He relaxed a bit, and he wasn't shoved down your throats as much. He was still shoved down your throats, but it was a better watch, because he was better at being a heel. Because he's an incredibly unlikable person. His persona, at least, I don't know what he's like in real life. He's probably a lovely guy, but his persona is unlikable.
Yeah,
and always has been. But when he was a babyface trying to get people to like him, he was dreadful. When he's just playing his heel character, it's more natural for him, because that's how he comes across. But me and Alan and a lot of other fans had to sit through 8 years of this bullshit where he was shoved down our throat. That's the people who's going to be on CM Punk's side. All the little sheep who are chanting OTC in a crowd are probably younger fans who probably came into it within the last 6-7 years, I think, who only probably know this new Roman Reigns, or the better version of Roman Reigns. So I do like the fact they've brought this into the feud, and I have personally enjoyed CM Punk destroying Roman on the mic. Roman's had maybe one good promo. If I think of their 4 or 5 promo battles, in my opinion, it's about 4-1 to CM Punk, which is exactly as I expected to do, because Roman is manufactured. Roman is not natural. He's better than he was, but he still can't. If people tell me Roman Reigns is a great pro, he's not a great promo. He's an average promo, no more.
Well, that's why he had Heyman on him.
That's why, yeah, and that's why he's always had people surrounding himself. Just like this is why I enjoyed the feud, because a lot of what Punk has said is true. Roman Reigns has always needed frills and stuff around him to cover up his weakness. I'm not saying CM Punk hasn't got any weakness. CM Punk was never the best in the world as a wrestler. Never. That was the gimmick, but he was never that. He was no Daniel Bryan in the ring. He's not. He never has been. Right? He's no AJ Styles in the ring. He's never been to that level, not once. Right? So CM Punk is not like the perfect wrestler either. He's a very good wrestler for the US audience, because he's very good at the character work. But I've just really enjoyed it as a longtime CM Punk fan, seeing CM Punk school Roman Reigns on actual, what I consider natural charisma. CM Punk has natural charisma. CM Punk is authentic. CM Punk talks to you like real people do. Roman Reigns, and he still does this, Roman Reigns. When Roman Reigns speaks, I still hear a script in him. Always. It's never natural. Roman Reigns has never, ever appeared natural to me. Even though he's become better, his promos still seem scripted to me.
The thing is, as well, with Roman Reigns in like the promos, like he thinks by calling CM Punk Paul, by calling him by his first name is like Phil. Sorry, is like a massive like thing. It's like no, loads of people have called him Phil. You're not the first person.
He's going to talk about Larry.
Well, he never did he? They missed a chance on that, because he never did he? He never brought it up.
But I'm going to ask one last question on this. How disappointed are you going to be if you hear Cult of Personality?
Well, I'm glad you asked that because obviously you put this in the group. I wasn't going to answer until now. I would love to hear Mysterio Cantor for this on the grand stage. It'd be great to hear it, I think.
You do realise, though, I don't know. I know that none of us are exactly avid AEW fans, but I watched a lot of the CM Punk. I really loved the MJF CM Punk feud. AEW's best feud still.
He did use it. Yeah,
he used it in the feud-ending match against it. So it wouldn't be the first time he's done it. So whether or not WWE would be okay, knowing that he already kind of blew his load, I suppose, by using it in AEW, I don't know. So I'm a little bit. I have my doubts, maybe. But
he does hate the other song, so I don't think it'll be that one.
Yes.
So it'll either be Cult of Personality or Mysteria, and obviously WWE do have the right to via 2K because so the options there. Whether they have the balls to pull the trigger now is another question entirely.
What they might do is that they've done this before. They did it with Drew McIntyre. Was it at Clash of the Castle? They played his old theme and then they played his new theme, didn't they? You might You might get both themes. You might get a little bit of his old song as they show like a video package or something, and then once he comes out, he'll go back to Cult of Personality. I could see them doing that. Yeah.
I suppose if it's the only way we're going to get it, it's acceptable. I don't think probably Alan would feel the same way. I won't speak for him though entirely. But before we get to your night 2 predictions, out of the whole 2-night card, which match is the one? Obviously, I know I've seen all the answer to columns. Which match is the one that if you couldn't watch any other match, which one are you watching?
Punk and Reigns. Because I want to see him GTS'd and pinned. I am well aware that is not going to happen, but that's what I want to see. So,
Alan's Punk and Reigns and
Punk and Reigns. Yeah.
I presume Colin, you're the Demon.
Oh yeah.
And obviously, like I do like Punk's kind of Gen X type. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't give a continental F about you kind of shtick. And it does speak to me. But I am very curious about this darker demon. So it would be the demon match for me as well. Even though I don't think it'll last more than 70 seconds. I'll be honest with you. Yeah. But let's get those night 2 predictions. And I accidentally clicked off the screen, so I'm just going to bring it up here. Apologies. So let's rapid fire this. I'm going to start with Alan. I'm going to get you through all of them, and then I'll go to Colum, then Tequila, then I'll finish. So Alan, first match, over Brock.
Brock Lesnar F5.
Brock F5 and pin.
F5.
Is that what you want to happen or think, Alan? It's what you think, not
both.
Want.
That's what I want to happen, and that's what will happen. F5 pin.
Intercontinental match.
Or me again?
Yeah, I'm going to hit
straight through. Okay. In my head, I'm thinking Rey Mysterio because of the whole Dominic thing, but I've got a funny feeling Javon Evans is going to win it.
Javon, and obviously that is by getting the
that's the only way you win, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. So the next match is Snorefest.
Jay Cargill.
Yeah.
I think she's going to win. I think Jay Cargill's going to win. Jay did pinfall on Rhea Ripley.
United States Championship.
I'm going to go with Trick Williams. I think Trick Williams is going to win this one.
Trick and
is his finisher the trick shot, isn't it?
Trick shot, yeah. So that'd be
there'll be some fuckery from Little Yachty or someone.
Yeah,
you shouldn't be at ringside. None of these celebrities should be, but yeah, there'd be some fuckery there, and I think it's gonna, or even Kamala Hayes might get involved, but yeah, it's gonna be Trick Williams trick shot.
Demon,
all day long, Demon Balor. He's gonna hit him with a coup de grace, and that'll be it.
So that's going to be a pin as well, and then finally,
before Punk mentioned him in the promo, I really thought Rock was going to come out and set up the WrestleMania 43 match with Reigns.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. And do you know what? I'm actually going to stick with it. I think CM Punk's going to win this match. Interference from The Rock. Punk wins by pinfall.
Punk by pinfall. Okay. Now, next up, Column.
Penta retain. Oh no, Obafemi. Sorry.
Oba. Pin.
Yeah, pin. Squash match. Penta.
Yeah.
I think they've put too much on him to make him drop it now. Rhea Ripley. Even though it probably won't happen, but that's what I think is going to happen. Trick Williams.
These are all pins, I presume, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, Demon. And Reigns.
Roman and Method.
Superman punch, spear, pin.
So pin again. Right. Tech.
Over for me, probably in under 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, I forgot we were doing that. I'll have to get. Sorry. I'll come back to Colum and Alan that one.
Sure.
Penta's going to retain. I don't see the point in putting a belt on him for a month if he's going to retain. Jade Cargill, because she's that bitch.
Yeah.
I think the US title match is going to be interesting. I think they're going to go for a double turn. The crowd wants that to happen anyway. I think Zayn's going to win via cheating, and then Trick's going to turn properly babyface. So it'll actually be a double turn during the match. Carmelo Hayes might get involved as well, but I think it's going to be a double turn. A Brett versus Austin, only nowhere near as good.
Cool. Lemon pepper steppers.
Balor's going to destroy Dominic. I don't know if it's going to be a squash, but he's no chance Balor loses that match. If they do, you can say goodbye to Finn Balor's career if he loses this match.
Yeah.
And despite my desires, it's just going to be a spear. It might only be one spear. They're going to do the whole CM Punk old man body lets him down kind of storyline. Younger Lion. It's not like Reigns is young. Younger Lion versus old Lion, but unfortunately, Reigns is getting another world title. Unfortunately for me, spear pinfall.
Yeah, I'm going to come back now to Colum and Al on their timeline because I forgot we were doing. So you're saying under 5 minutes tequila. So your prediction on time span, Al.
I'm gonna go for that 6 minute mark.
So between you're going to be 5 to 6.
They're gonna spend about 2 minutes staring down at each other first.
Yeah.
Column.
I've put 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
So you're going. Hold on, 4 minutes. So 4:30 is your cap. You're saying.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. So for tequila to benefit, so that means it has to be between 4 minutes 30 and 5 minutes.
Well,
Do you want to alter or are you going to stick?
I think it'll be 5 minutes. It's fine. I think it'll be 5.
Right.
It could easily be 4.5. It could easily be 6. We've all got a minute and a half bracket, so it's still very close.
Oba, 3 minutes.
Wow. Okay. That's pushing it. That's Goldberg versus the Fiend Bray Wyatt levels.
Well, Goldberg destroyed Lesnar at Survivor Series in about 3 minutes, so Lesnar has been willing to put people over that fast, but only once.
For me then the Intercontinental, I was thinking of Effery from Dom, but they're not going to do it when he's involved with the Demons, so I'm going to say Penta retains. As much as I want Rhea to Glasgow kiss that Aegis and send her into next Tuesday, Jade by pin, as much as it kills me to say it. I think Zayn actually gives into his dark side. I do agree with Tequila on that. And I'm going to say that Zayn does something outside the ring and the ref waves it off. Demon. Pin. So that I don't think that one's even in question. And then this last one. as much as it pains me to say it, Roman. And I think we're going to see some level of kind of heavy artillery bruising put on Punk. Whereas you said, after whatever number of minutes they deem is credible, old man body survives until and by pin. But if it was up to me, I'd be leaving the strap on Punk.
Yeah, agreed. Roman doesn't need it.
Well, if
My
Reign
friend doesn't need either, but-
if Reign wins there, he ain't going to defend it. When's he next going to defend it? A couple of months.
SummerSlam probably.
Right, so we're back to the part-time champion again.
And who do you get to step to?
Demon Finn.
Yeah, yes. Let's do that.
They just put the belt on Breaker. That's what they wanted to do originally. Just put the belt on Breaker. Have Breaker.
Yeah, spear versus spear in it.
Yeah, I mean that's going to happen at some point. Have Breaker I'd have Breaker destroy Reigns. I would. If they're going to give Reigns a belt, then Breaker needs to take it off him.
Well, no, the first shot will go to Bronson Reed because Bronson Reed beat Roman Reigns, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he'll step up and say, "I beat him, so I want the first shot." He gets the first shot. He gets speared. He gets beaten.
Or if Oba absolutely decimates Brock Lesnar, maybe Oba gets it given.
I'm going to throw something out to you, and just see if you think it's within the realm of possibility. The spawn of Steiner comes back, but he doesn't interject himself in the local pawn farce. He goes into business for himself, and he looks at those two opponents, and he says, I'm not going letting Reigns win the strap. He bends him over, throws Punk up, a lifeless Punk up on top of him. Punk retains.
I think that destroys Punk. For what they're trying to build Punk as, I think that destroys Punk.
Went away because Punk obviously said it a couple weeks ago when he got powerbomb for the table. He goes, I don't need the help.
If they wanted to make the whole thing interesting, you know what they'd do? They'd have the Usos come out and then join Punk and say that Punk was right and that Roman never apologized to them because this all fits a massive storyline. It means Punk goes heel, but that would actually storyline-wise, I think that would be the most interesting thing they could do. Punk was right all along. Roman Reigns never apologized to them.
Well, he could still keep his tweener character, couldn't really, but obviously more heelish.
If they reform the bloodline, which is what I'm scared they might do, it's never going to be as good. These things are never as good the first time round. If they try and reform the bloodline by having the Usos come out and help Reigns win the belt, and they reform the bloodline, it's going to remind me of when they tried to reform the NWO all those times in WCW, man. So I hope they don't go that route, but I fear that maybe they do.
Yeah, but we have been going for the guts of 2 hours, so I'm going to give the mat and the final mic to Colm. Sign us out. I guess not. Yeah.